Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on a really interesting model kit that's making some waves. The MGSD Gundam Aerial.
That's right. Think of this as us, well, pulling back the curtain on this specific Gunpla release. We really want to get into what makes it special. Highlight its key features, the engineering choices, and why it's a pretty notable addition to the whole model kit scene. It's got this unique blend of, like, precision and that SD style.
Right. So MGSD, that's the line we're talking about. For anyone maybe new to Gunpla, what does MGSD actually mean? Because, there are quite a few grades out there.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept, actually. The MGSD line basically takes the super detailed engineering and the high standard of detail people love from Master Grade kits.
Like the MG series.
Exactly. Things like internal frames, complex joints. And it fuses all that with the compact sort of stylized look of the Super Deformed or SD format.
Yeah.
So imagine getting that MG build quality, that posability, but packed into a cute, desk-friendly size.
And the mobile suit getting this specific treatment is the Gundam Aerial.
Yep. The main suit from Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury, piloted by Soletta Mercury.
Right.
It's got a very distinctive design and some really unique abilities in the show that people are definitely keen to see how they've translated that into a kit.
Okay, let's start with the basics. And if you're looking to maybe grab this kit, what are the key product details?
All right. So obviously it's in the MGSD line from Witch from Mercury. The price in Japan, suggested retail is 3,900 yen. That's before tax.
Okay.
Or 4,290 yen with tax included.
And when can people expect to see it? The release window?
It's planned for August 2025 in Japan. Some places are listing August 31st specifically.
Okay.
And good news, it's a regular retail release. So not like a premium Bandai exclusive or anything. It should be pretty widely available.
Got it. Now, scale is usually a big thing in Gunpla, right? But this is listed as non-scale. What does that mean for its actual size on the shelf?
Yeah, non-scale is pretty standard for SD kits. It just means it doesn't represent, like, 1144, 1100 fraction of the real thing. Instead, you look at the assembled height. For the MGSD Aerial, it's going to be around 115 millimeters tall, so quite a bit smaller than a standard high grade, but, denser with detail.
Okay, let's get into that engineering. How did they manage to pack what sounds like MG-level stuff into this smaller SD form?
Right. This is where it gets really interesting. For its size, the engineering is surprisingly complex. You've got this high-density internal structure under the armor.
Oh, cool.
And they've even used metallic silver plastic for parts of this inner frame, which you can actually glimpse through gaps in the outer armor plating.
Ah, so it adds that mechanical depth visually.
Exactly. It gives it that touch of realism you don't often see at this scale.
And the articulation. You mentioned that.
Absolutely key. It's designed for really dynamic posing. Skirt armor moves, it gets out of the way, and maybe the most impressive bit for an SD kit. The knees, they have this special sliding mechanism. It lets the legs bend far enough to actually pull off a proper kneeling pose.
Wow, okay. A kneeling pose in an SD. That definitely sounds different.
It really is. Usually impossible with standard SD proportions, right?
Yeah.
So getting those iconic action poses from the show seems like a real focus here.
What about the Aerial's unique visual features? The visor. The shell units.
Yeah, they tackled those too. The visor isn't just one piece, it's a multi-layer structure. Uses clear parts and silver pieces behind them, gives it real depth.
Right.
And then the shell units, those parts on the body that light up in the show.
The Permet Score thing?
Exactly. The kit uses clear parts for those sections, and it actually comes with specific swap-out parts to simulate that Permet Score 6 activation effect. The distinct blue glow.
Oh, brilliant. So you can actually display it in that powered-up state.
Precisely. They also gave it articulated hands, which again is a step up for this size. Helps it get a much better grip on its weapons.
Speaking of which, the shield. That's a big part of the Aerial.
Oh yeah, the shield is crucial. And it's not just one solid piece. It's made up of multiple GND bits, just like in the anime.
The core of its whole system.
Right. And these GND bits can detach from the shield itself and then attach directly onto the Aerial.
To make the bit-on form.
You got it. Basically lets the Aerial wear its weapons as extra armor. And if you want, you can display the GND bits separately, like flying around it.
Okay.
Though you'll need a separate display base for it. Those aren't included, just the bits themselves.
Right. So it really lets you bring that on-screen action to your desk.
Yeah.
So what exactly comes in the box then?
Okay, so inside you get all the parts for the MGSD Gundam Aerial itself, obviously. Then you get its beam rifle, 2 beam sabers, the shield, which is made of all those G&D bits, the special set of parts to replicate the Permet Score 6 look, some other general effect parts, and then a sheet of marking stickers for the final detail.
And standard Gunpla stuff, snap fit, colored plastic.
Yep.
Exactly. No glue needed. Parts are molded in color. Pretty standard build process in that sense, just more complex internals.
Okay. And just for a little context from the Witch from Mercury, for anyone maybe not familiar, the Aerial, the XVX-016 is Soletta Mercury suit. In universe, it's about 18 meters tall.
Standard mobile suit size, yeah.
And its whole deal is that GOD BB system and the Permet score abilities, that's central to the story. Worth noting, too, the Mirasol flight unit, it shows up in the series with Mariel.
Right, the backpack.
Yeah, that's not included in this specific MGSD kit release.
Good point. And that context matters because it shows what this kit is trying to capture, right? All those features we talked about, the articulation, the visor, the Permet parts, the G&D bit separating, they're all there to translate those key mechanical and visual things from the screen into a model you can hold.
So what does this mean for you, the listener? Whether you're a seasoned builder or just think cool robots are, well, cool. It means you're getting a kit that packs a surprising punch, an impressive level of detail, and, importantly, posing options in a format that's usually much simpler.
Right.
It's not just a little statue. It's a buildable thing that really tries to capture the essence of the Aerial's complexity and how dynamic it looks on screen. The engineering allows for striking poses way beyond typical SDs. These details really matter because they give you a much richer building experience and a much cooler display piece in the end. Feels premium, but small.
It really does sound like they've crammed a lot of sophisticated engineering into this smaller package, blending that MG complexity with the fun SD look.
Absolutely. This whole MGSD approach is carving out a really interesting niche, I think. It gives fans a new way to experience these popular suits, takes the SD style people and just injects this whole other level of mechanical detail and movement. It kind of redefines what you might expect from a small kit.
So, thinking about that, with this kind of engineering popping up in the SD format now, what possibilities does this MGSD line maybe open up for the future? Could it change what we expect from small-scale model kits going forward?
Well, it definitely raises the bar, doesn't it? If they can pull this off with the Aerial, you immediately start thinking, okay, what other complex designs could get this treatment? You know, other fan favorites with intricate details or transformation gimmicks.
Yeah, definitely.
It suggests a future where maybe small scale doesn't automatically mean simple build. And for builders, that's pretty exciting.
Definitely something to think about as you look at your collection or maybe plan your next build. 3-second pause.